Welcome to Bangla City SATV News. This is Nuri Alamin with the headlines. Free textbooks in the hands of 4 crore students. Many mistakes and inconsistencies in books. Experts blame SATV for the errors and distortions. Line of buying daily commodities from TCV is getting longer day by day. People stood for hours and returned empty-handed due to lack of supply. UN Security Council to hold an emergency meeting on alleged manufacture of biological weapons in Ukraine at Moscow's request. The government is setting a record by handing over free new books to 4 crore students across the country every year. But on the first day of the year, the students are in a hurry to get the books in their hands. As a result, the success of the government is being tarnished by the numerous mistakes and inconsistencies in the textbook. Experts are blaming the incompetence and indifference of the SATV officials for the error and distortions in the textbooks. Every year after the book festival, the books with wrong and defective color covers start a phase away. The National Curriculum and Textbook Board SATV woke up in the face of intense criticism across the country over the incidents. The investigation committee and the attempt to absolve the liability has been conducted over the past few years. This has blamed the norm in SATV, the experts said. The line of buying daily commodities at low prices from Bangladesh Trading Corporation TCB is getting longer day by day. But due to lack of supply, many people stood in the line for hours and returned empty-handed. Over the last few days, crowds of shoppers have been behind the TCB truck in different parts of the capital. Yesterday, this image got bigger. In most places, the sale of goods ends by noon. Buyers complained that they could not buy the product even after standing in a line for the long time in the sun. Hundreds of the people lined up at various points, including Kajipara National Press Club and Shagun Bagicha in the capital for the long time, but it was possible to give product to maximum 30 people, said the vendors. Soybean oil demand is the highest, they said. However, it's not possible to supply oil to everyone as there is no supply as per the demand. The women of Bengal have been developed in the unique art of the work of the various Nakshi Pitas. A 5-day National Pita Festival is being held in Rangpur under the auspices of the Ministry of Culture and jointly organized the National Cake Festival Celebration Council. Regarding the Pita Festival, the public library premises are now filled with the scent of the Pita Puli. The festival is colored and decorated with about 30 stalls with the participation of the students from 6 districts, including the foreign students as well. In the festival, people of all ages are gathering to enjoy. During the 5-day long cake festival, cultural programs are held in the festival ground from 4 p.m. on every day. This exceptional festival of the various tastes will continue till March 13. Viewers, we are taking a short break. Stay with Bangla City SATV News. Welcome back, and you are watching Bangla City SATV News. Russia and Ukraine have been accusing each other of preparing chemical attacks, claim both countries have denied. One thing that is clear is the growing humanitarian crisis, with many Ukrainian civilians desperate for helping. This comes as the U.S. defense official report Russia forces are just kilometers away from the capital Kiev. Dalia Nilufar reports.
The cities of Lutsk, Ivano-Frankivsk are targeted with Dnipro for the first time since the Russian invasion began. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has dismissed Russia's allegations that Kiev was developing bio-warfare laboratories. Russia has repeatedly accused Ukraine of working with the US to develop biological weapons. Meantime, the United States and the UK agreed, and both countries shared concerns that Moscow was preparing to use a chemical or biological weapon against Ukrainians. Well, Moscow has denied all claims. The UN human rights officials said at least 549 civilians have been killed and another 957 wounded since Russia invaded some 2 weeks ago. However, the war seems far from stopping yet. A US defense official reported that Russian troops advancing from the northwestern part of Ukraine's capital are now just 15 kilometers away from the city center. On the flip side, UN Security Council to hold an emergency meeting today. Dalia Nulafar, SATV News Desk.
Over in Brazil, activists and indigenous groups protested on Wednesday, rallying against President Jair Bolsonaro's environmental policies in the Brazilian capital of Brasilia. Dubbed Earth Event, the rally was called by the popular singer Caetano Veloso and dozens of other Brazilian musicians who urged the legislature to stop that what they call the destruction of the Amazon rainforest. Indigenous people also protested against the use of the pesticides in the agriculture. The rally comes as the Bolsonaro administration and the National Congress are pushing a set of mining bills that would endanger the Amazon and indigenous land. Leftist former student leader Gabriel Boric will form the throne in Friday as Chile's youngest ever president, with plans to turn the country that for decades has served as a neoliberal laboratory into a greener, more egalitarian welfare state. Aged 36, the Boric takes over the reins of a country clamoring for the change following mass protests in 2019, which he supported against the chief rooted in equality, income, healthcare, education, and the pensions. Boric has vowed to relegate to the grave Chile's neoliberal economic model, which dates from the era of the military despot Augusto Pinochet and is widely seen as the sidelining the poor and working classes. 1% of the Chile's population owns about a quarter of its wealth. A federal appeals court in the United States said that pop superstar Katy Perry and her team were not liable to a hip-hop artist who claimed they copied her #1 hit Dark Horse from the Christian rap song. U.S. Circuit Court of the Appeals said the flame, whose given name is the Marcus Gray, didn't deserve damages for the copyright infringement over the musical pattern, he said. The Perry, 37, borrowed from his song The Joyful Noise. The Pasadena, California-based court said the 8-note pattern known as the ostinato consisted entirely of the commonplace musical elements that lacked of the quantum of the originality needed for the copyright protection. Perry's lawyer didn't immediately respond to request for the comment. Crystalline Lepera, a lawyer of the Capitol, and Perry's producer, Circuit Dr. Luke and the Max Martin, said they were very pleased with the decision. Dark Horse appealed the Perry's 2013 album Prism and spent 4 weeks atop the Billboard Hot 100 in 2014. Now, sports news. Barcelona stumbled to a Galatasaray draw with the Galatasaray and their Eurasia League, the last 16 first leg at the Camp Nou on Thursday. Xavi Hernandez Barca playing in Europe's second tier and the competition for their first time since 2004. Dominated for the long period, but it was their Turkish visitor who almost grabbed a lead ahead of the return game in Istanbul next week, with the Befetam Gomes only denied a winner by a VAR review for the offside. Memphis Depay, making his first start since December, forced Galatasaray goalkeeper Inaki Pena into 2 good first-half serves. Bangladesh cricket team is going to South Africa after the 4.5 years. The team will play 2 tests and 3 ODIs in the tour. An 8-member contingent left for the South Africa on Friday morning on a 3-stage tour. 8 members of the crew were in their first flight to the boat that flight at 11:15 a.m. The second fleet of the Tiger will go tonight. The third convoy of the Bangladesh will leave for the South Africa on Saturday morning. Despite failing in the previous tour, selector Habibul Bashar Shimon is quite optimistic about this year's series. Arguably one of the greatest to play of the game of golf, Tiger Woods was inducted into the World Golf Hall of the Fame on Wednesday during a ceremony at the PGA Tour headquarters in Florida. His 14-year-old daughter Sam introduced him for the induction, while the tiger delivered a speech about his career and those who helped him along the way. In his Hall of the Fame career, his own record-tying 82 PGA Tour titles and 15 major championships, trailing another golf legend, Jack Nicklaus, and his 18 major titles. Before ending, we go through Bangla City SATV News headlines again. Free textbooks in the hand of 4 crore students, many mistakes and inconsistencies in books. Experts blame SATV for the errors and distortions. Line of buying daily commodities from TCB is getting longer day by day. People stood for hours and returned home empty-handed due to lack of supply. UN Security Council to hold an emergency meeting on alleged manufacture of biological weapons at Ukraine at Moscow's request. You are up to date with the Bangla City SATV News, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.